I made a huge mistake. Have you ever felt like, I thought that was the way to go, and then things came to light and I realized I had made a huge mistake? That's what we're talking about in this video. Hey, Leslie Hutter here, back with another one of our community questions. I am an acupuncturist, spiritual guide, and I'm here to answer your questions about subtle body, spiritual health, natural health, and how to really actually get free from the trauma trapped in your body. And this week's question asks, Leslie, what do you do if you feel like you've made a huge mistake? How do you let it go and not just let it eat you up inside? Here's a few questions. We're going to go over a step-by-step process of what you can do if you feel like you're stuck in a situation where you've made a huge mistake. And if you'd like to ask me questions and get some coaching with me, check out the links below to our inner circle. You'll get access to our library of courses, including Healing Anxiety Naturally, Adjusting Your Relationship with Money, How to Actually Know Your Constitutional Type, as well as being able to join small group live gatherings and ask me coaching questions like this and get direct personal answers to your questions. I'll link to that below. So let's talk about this 3-part solution that I would recommend if you feel like you have made a huge mistake and really bombed in some way. The first approach is that I would offer to you to actually update your definition of what a mistake actually is. If you've been following me for some time, you know that I don't really believe that there are that many mistakes. My working hypothesis, and what I would call a spiritual working hypothesis, is that things do really unfold for a reason and are learning. So in my opinion, what we define as a mistake is really too broad. I have quite a narrow definition that I would offer to you as a working hypothesis, that really the only mistakes are the times when we willingly went against our own knowing. Said another way, the only time it's really a mistake is when we separated in some way, separated from myself, separated from my connection with myself or with the divine, separated from a knowingness of what I knew to be right. That is kind of a mistake, but everything else in terms of making a decision based on the information that I had, jumping with something that turned out to not work out in the way that I thought it was, I actually do not qualify those as mistakes in my world. So I'd offer to you to first maybe narrow your definition of what was actually a mistake, and these other things that occur out here, just call them tough effing learning lessons that you had to do. We all make a lot of mistakes, sometimes expensive mistakes, but we could also just define those as expensive, difficult, painful learnings that happen. So, number 1, change the way that you actually define a real mistake. The mistakes in this little category are what I would call mind errors, places where we split off from ourselves and our own inherent connection. The rest of this shit out here is just stuff that happens in life and the things that help us learn and grow. It's the old dad adage of, well, if that's the worst thing that happens to you, you'll live a long and happy life. Number 2 is really about self-forgiveness. Now, you can check out some of my other videos on forgiveness, but the first thing is to realize that often we have a misunderstood definition of forgiveness. The shortcut is forgiveness is for the purpose of giving myself freedom and doesn't have to do with anybody else. So if you feel like you have made a huge mistake, I invite you to join me now and just do a little tapping of all of your fingers together just to kind of activate the meridians that are coming down the ends of your fingers, and just try the phrase, even though, and then fill in the blank, even though I did that thing and that happened and I can't believe that and I really screwed up there, I deeply love and accept myself anyways, and I'm willing to forgive myself right now. I'm serious. I actually want you to say it out loud. Even though I screwed up, I made that mistake, and that happened, and I'm blaming myself, I choose to forgive myself in this moment. You can even answer my yes/no question in this moment. Are you willing, just right now, I'm actually talking to you, yes? Are you willing to actually forgive yourself for everything that you didn't know, everything that you did know, and everything that happened with that, seeing that it actually happened and it's over now? Are you willing to forgive yourself? You can answer yes or no. Either one is okay. I'll wait. So, self-forgiveness is an important part of moving forward because you are as you are, and we are all learning and growing in this way. Step 3 is genuine amends. If you really did do something in this small category, you either went against something in yourself you knew to be true, or you somewhat intentionally or somewhat marginally or in the gray area knew that it was going to affect someone else or harm someone in another way, or you broke some sort of internal contract with yourself. Self-forgiveness is part of that. You need to make genuine amends to come back to a clear place. And that's not something that we often grow up modeling. I can specifically remember the first time I heard one of my parents actually apologize to me directly, and it wasn't until I was in college. So this isn't something that I really saw modeled growing up, and a lot of us don't. It's important to practice. Practice in front of the mirror. The general step that you can really make is something along the lines of, hey, I just wanted to say that thing happened and I realized that I really messed up. I was out of line. I wasn't aware of those things. I didn't do a good job at those things. And I see that it affected you in this way. And I really am sorry. If I had a do-over, I would do it again. Please accept my apology. Something along those lines. If it feels too difficult to do it in person, do it in writing. If you had trouble with that last part on forgiveness, you could actually write yourself a letter apologizing to yourself or to the inner part of yourself that you feel that you have harmed or split off from. So you are inherently divine. I would offer you to work on your working hypothesis of what's really going on here. If you need support in the subtle body, personal growth, spiritual path type of guidance way, click on some of the links below. I might have some things that can support you along the way. And these are the ways that you can start to release these knots around the suffering of when we think we've made mistakes. You are here on a journey becoming more and more whole every single day, and you deserve great things. I'm Leslie Hutter. Thanks for being with me during this time. I'd love it if you like this video, click that little like below, helps us reach more people. And if you want to get more weekly videos like this, click on that subscribe and we'll be in touch. Thanks so much. See you next time.